The subject is unlocking your subconscious memory bank with the key of the Holy Spirit. And may I warn you to begin with, if you're going into that subconscious memory bank, you'd better be sure that you're going in with the Holy Spirit. Or some of the stuff that you find may scare you to death. You may not be able to handle it. It may be like opening the proverbial Pandora's box or Blue Beard's closet. I'm using a text from Jeremiah, the 9th chapter, 17th chapter, the 9th through the 10th verses, and Romans, the 8th chapter, the 26th through the 28th verses. I'd just like to read these as a frame of reference for our lesson. And I'll have you repeat after me for emphasis as I shall pause. The heart is deceitful. Above all things. What a statement to begin. And the heart here is the deeper mind, that subconscious consciousness, that area of unconscious consciousness and subconscious consciousness. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Now, Romans, the 8th chapter, the 26th through the 28th verses. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. You see, there can be so much way down in the heart, way down in the unconscious, subconscious regions of the mind, of the heart, that the intellect won't even know what to pray for. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. You see now where I get the idea of unlocking the subconscious memory bank with the key of the Holy Spirit. But the Spirit itself makes intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he makes intercession for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Let's go into a bit of psychological and psychiatric analysis for a moment. Examine some of these terms that we'll be using. We're talking about the subconscious memory bank. What is the subconscious memory bank? Now, everybody has a subconscious memory bank or subconscious memory banks. See, you didn't know that you had banks. And as I said, many of us would be surprised to find out all that's banked up in us. Because some of the stuff that's banked up in you from way back is affecting your present experience. And we got to get in here with the Holy Spirit and get things cleared away and cleared up. Here's a definition for subconscious memory bank. That area in the deepest level of the mind where past memories and impressions are stored and operative, affecting the individual's present thinking, personality, and experience. Here's a question that you're going to have to psychoanalyze yourself with on your own time. What past memories and impressions are affecting my present experience? It's good to examine that, but you'd better do it with the Holy Spirit. because you can't handle that in the flesh. Because you may discover some cans of worms. And you need the Holy Spirit to intercede. Because some of the stuff you come up with, you won't know what to do with. The average person consciously remembers some past impressions and events which affect his present thinking, personality, and experience. However, there are impressions, beliefs, and feelings locked in the subconscious memory banks below the threshold of conscious consciousness. For example, if you find yourself repeating the same negative behavior, repeating the same negative experiences that you don't like, but you keep experiencing them, if you keep bringing the same kinds of negative people into your life, there is something in the bank. Yeah, besides your money. And you better stop and ask yourself and ask the Holy Spirit, why do I keep doing this? You see, again, there are people who won't allow themselves to be happy. There are people who have a guilt complex about being happy. And if you detect that in you ever, you had better ask yourself, why won't I allow myself to be happy? Now here's the cooker. You ready for this one? In order to be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have what you want to have, all you need to do is to give yourself the permission. Whee. Stand up right now. We're going to work on that. We're going to give ourselves permission. You don't need anybody else's permission. You only need to do what gives yourself permission. Like this business of forgiveness, some people are holding things against themselves and begging God to forgive them. God doesn't have a blessed thing against you. If you would forgive yourself, it would be all over. You have to permit yourself to go free. Right now, we are going to practice giving ourselves permission. Giving ourselves permission to be healthy, happy. Giving ourselves permission to love and be loved. Giving ourselves permission for our dreams to come true. Giving ourselves permission to be successful and prosperous. You see, God has given you the authority. Now you have to authorize yourself. Whee! You see, but you can't let it stop there. But that's where it stops too many times, you know. Over the past few months, we've been singing and preaching around here about you've got the power, I've got the power. All right, now that you've got the power, bless God, what are you going to do with it? Use it to give yourself permission, to authorize yourself. The only thing that stands between you and your greater expression is your own permission. Some of you might have been brought up, for example, in a home where there was a depressing atmosphere, and you have a lot of that depression locked in your subconscious memory bank so that you don't feel that it's right for you to be happy because your family and everybody else was so sad. You can be just as rich as you give yourself permission to be. I think it was Will Rogers, one of the philosophers, says that every person is just about as happy as he makes up his mind to be. That's another way to say giving yourself permission. Now, maybe you've never thought of it that way. Now, I feel a great freedom happening already, all over this auditorium, within my soul. Some of you, the light is turning on. Something's clicking now. What? Do you mean to tell me all this time all I needed to do is give myself permission? You don't need anybody. Listen, you don't even need your mama's permission. I know
I've been changed. I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. The angels in the heaven done changed my name.